Are you stupid or something? You probably are, and buddy, that's alright. You're in the right place to learn some stuff, so stick around and you just might. My name is Notme, and I'll be asking some Q's, and at the end you'll be riddled with A's. You might score real high, but even if not, you'll sure be glad you played. If you're looking for prizes, just move along, there's no money for you to earn. You win by trying and doing your best, your prize is the stuff you learn. If you want to be an artiste, you have to know all you can about the world of art. So engage with this quiz, and at the end you'll say, I am smart.
I am not me. I am art. And I am your host for I Am Smart, the quiz where people look to improve their art, their lives, and themselves through learning and strive to earn the right to say, yeah, I am smart. The format of this quiz, very simple, very straightforward. 3 rounds of questions for your brain. 3 musings for your imaginosphere, and a 2-point bonus round at the end. We're looking at 20 points overall. That's the maximum we've got here. All you're going to need for this quiz, something to write with. Here's an example. It's a biro. Something to write on. Here's an example. It's some post-it notes. Optional is a beverage. Because whilst it's nothing to do with the actual quiz, we do just like to kick things off with a toast. So here we go. Oh, look at these emotes that seem to be working this week inexplicably. Here we go. Get your beverages ready, guys. To Mary Whitehouse. Now, for those who don't know Mary Whitehouse, she was a British woman who campaigned against the more permissive attitudes in society, and for television especially, to be clean. She didn't like sex or violence or bad language, and whilst I do believe that a couple of those can really enhance a narrative in the right context, I absolutely agree with her about one. Thanks. And so I hope that even though this is episode 69 of I Am Smart, the Not Me quiz, and even though she's dead, she will be looking down or up at this show, depending on your thoughts about her, and smiling at how smut-free it is. To Mary Whitehouse. Double dip for that first one. Hello, Smarties. How are we doing? Look at this. Look at this wonderful stuff. M. Acton, happy Sunday. It's always a happy Sunday when there's live-tainment. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Supernash18, hello to you. AOL Time Warner with an emote check. Yeah, that emote check seems to work pretty well. So, yeah, lovely to see the emotes back. I will promise you and assure you at this point, I did absolutely nothing to change after last week because I didn't know why they weren't working in the first place. So how do you fix a problem you don't understand? SJBeck72, hi Smarties, hello to you. Definitely not Duda, hello to you. TB, lovely to see you. And Gamer Hall, hey Smarties, hey Gamer Hall. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Now, the high points go... Oh, I just realized I didn't do the rounds properly. Okay, let's do the rounds together. These are not necessarily the rounds that we've got today. Let's go through them. Gosh, you think you've got everything sorted, and there's always one thing, isn't there? There's always one thing that just catches you unawares. Yeah or nay? We do have that. I know that voice. Yeah. Who dat artiste? Yeah, we've got one of those. Nart. We do not have a Nart. We have a song lyrics, anagram, ding dong, order. We don't have. Not Me Wood. Do we have a Not Me Wood? We don't have an iconic art. I know that. We've got a red herring. We've got what else have we got? I've got the things here. Yeah or nay? Spotlight. Yeah, that's up there. Give me 5. Red herring. Yeah. Haikus Day. That's always there. Nobody ever picks that. Song lyrics. Yeah, we've got that. Anagram ding dong. Who dat artiste? Yeah, I know that voice. Oh, we've got a movie ladder, guys. We've got your favorite of mine, movie ladder, and we've got. Wait, how does that work? So now we might have too many. Yes, it's because I didn't put Not Me Wood in. I took that out. I replaced it with an alphabet, and then that's not how you spell alphabet. And we've got one final one. What is that? What is Uzi Choose? Yeah, that's another brand new round, guys. Another brand new round that I won't give you any information about until you pick it. Just to, you know. We do, of course, have this week, very excitingly, we've got a Drops of Imaginosphere round as purchased by Nana Hobob. So we're going to have to get through these questions pretty quick, but we can do that. We can do that. Killer Kilch, internet won't let me play there in spirit. Apologies, Killer Kilch, on behalf of the internet, though I'm not. There's no real reason why I should take the responsibility for the entirety of the internet. I know sometimes it does feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders, the weight of the world wide web. But I have nothing to. I can't control the internet, not even within my own domicile. Though it seems to be going pretty slickly so far. That bit rate, that is hanging on. That is hanging on. Yeah, the spectre of Spectrum Internet haunts the show. It may not be their fault, but let's say it's their fault. It's easier to all have a common enemy, I believe. So the high point scorer last week, as we all remember, very excitingly, was SJBeck72. So SJBeck72, please make your selection from any one of these rounds. Which round would SJBeck72 like to play? Monkey Pixie Funk, hello to you. And again, just not that we do ever get, we do like to keep things pretty family friendly here, but just even though it is episode 69, please nothing sexual in the chat, okay? Nothing sexual, okay? Let's keep this smut free, okay? I want this to be a clean show because this is something that I have worked very hard on, okay? SJBeck72, I know that voice, please. Absolutely. Happy to do it. Lovely, lovely stuff, which means that we need to pick some rounds. Should we pick them? Let's pick them. Feeling it? I know you're feeling it. Let's go. Lady Luck, the fates decided. Uzi Choose will be played. My goodness, Uzi Choose. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's have a look. Let's get rid of these rounds. Yeah, well played, Fate. Hello, Maple Panda. Lovely to see you. Lovely, lovely work from Definitely there. Some lovely Lucy emotes. And then some This Is Art emotes. Everybody's enjoying the emotes, and I'm enjoying that everyone's enjoying the emotes. We'll finish up with Bespoke. Maybe we'll get that out of the way nice and quick. Who knows? We've got Red Herring. That's kind of interesting, actually. I know that voice. Oh, that's quite interesting. And then Uzi Choose. Oh, that's tricky, actually. We're gonna start Bespoke. Then I think we might go through in that order. Herring, voice, choose. Yeah, let's do that. So let's start with some Bespoke ones. So the questions that nobody other than Nana Hobob is going to be able to answer. That's right, it's the Drops of Imaginosphere round. Nana Hobob paid 10,000 Drops of Imaginosphere in order to get a in order to get around entirely of his own choice. And for those of you who have forgotten exactly what he picked, I'm very excited to see how excited you get when you find it out. The topic we've got this week is Nana Hobbob requested digital cameras of the past 5 years. You could say there's two arguments here. Argument number one, Nana has negatively affected the quiz overall by picking something that is so specific. That's a valid argument. Every quiz show, which this is both a test, but it's also entertainment. And by picking something that is absolutely, as bespoke as possible, that nobody else is going to understand, that could be a negative. However, you could be saying, Nana's playing the game. Yeah? Nana is playing the game knowing you can get a lot of points. Nobody else is going to get diddly squat. Okay? So, somebody's highlighting messages. That's exciting. Well done, Monkey Pixie Funk, for highlighting your message. And that is such a positive one as well. Definitely, I'm just here to learn, really. M. Acton, this is lifelong learning, guys. I'm very, very excited that you're all going about this in such a positive way. We won't spend too long on this because, again, I am speaking essentially to a single person. And if any of it was not the easiest thing to write questions about because it's not something that I've, a lot of this is technical stuff. I'm not really a technical guy. I'm more of a feeling guy. So if any of these are incorrect, then there are croc points available for you, Nana, as well. Let's go with question one. How big is the image sensor on a full-frame DSLR camera? So this is the kind of level that we're going for. I would assume that most of you will be looking dumbstruck. That seems like a mean thing to say, but slack-jawed with this question? I don't know. Question number 2. The highest megapixel sensor currently available is in the Fujifilm GFX 100S. How many megapixels does it offer? And this is plus or minus 5 megapixels. So you've got a 10 megapixel window here. So I'm being quite generous. This is potentially guessable. Who knows? And I will say that this is about the specific sensor, not the resultant photo that can be produced, because there is a technique where a camera will take several photos and then stitch them all together to create a much larger image. That's not what we're looking for here, and I know a lot of you will have been thinking about this. Question number 3. According to digitalcameraworld.com, one of my absolute favorite resources for all my digital camera news, the best mirrorless camera for traveling in 2023, which is of course the year that we're living in, is the OMD EM10 Mark IV. But which company makes it? Which company makes that camera? The OMD EM10 Mark IV. AOL Time Warner, if it's a digital camera that doesn't use a 3.5-inch floppy disk, I don't know it. Well, I don't think there was a lot of floppy disks going on. If this was just digital cameras ever, maybe we could have gone way back in time to do that. But Nana did specify in the last 5 years, and the digital camera, the floppy disk digital cameras did go. They are largely obsolete at this point, unfortunately. Question number 4. Name a German digital camera brand. It's that simple. It's that simple. I want a digital camera brand that hails from the land of Deutsch. There's several of them, or at least there were on Wikipedia. So hopefully Nana can name at least one. And question 5, final question. I think this is the trickiest. In 2018, Canon and Nikon finally started taking mirrorless cameras seriously, thank goodness. Canon released the EOS R, but name either of Nikon's mirrorless releases that year. please nobody make anything sensual about the phrase mirrorless releases. That's not where we want to go on this episode. Yes, it's episode 69, but please, just any of those thoughts that you might have, please just bury them deep. Bury them real deep. Nana was feeling really great over here. Well, that's good. That's good. That's, you know, this is an expensive round for Nana. He's paid a lot of DOI for this, and so the last thing you'd want is for this to be too easy or too difficult. Either one would lead to a subpar experience. So those are the questions. Those are maybe a bit more specific, but the benefit of an I Am SmART is that everybody can get involved with the musing. The musing here, of course, nice and simple. What feature would you want on your dream digital camera? On your dream digital camera? And be as beholden to reality as you choose, i.e. very or not at all. Just let your imaginosphere really guide you in this. Dip into those cool blue waters and allow the, maybe there's some kind of tide in your imaginosphere, some kind of current, and it takes you to the right answer. Nana Hobble, thank you for that. You have confirmed my suspicions that I pay way too much attention to camera news. Well, that's good. Are you a devotee of digitalcameraworld.com, or do you have another outlet for your particular breaking news? M. Acton, I haven't used my DSLR camera in about 3 years, but this round is making me want to get back out, take some photos, and create some #art. New summer project incoming. Nana, we have combined to inspire, and that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. That's exactly what we want to be doing. Lovely work there, Maple Panda. It looks like there may be more emotes than emojis, or emojis than emotes, because some of them just live in the thing, but other ones, it's only the emotes that will fly around the thing. But when you inspire somebody to create a new summer project, that is art, baby. That is art. And that's the end of that round. Thank goodness. Oh, again. Why did nobody tell me to turn the video off? Again, we're back here. And we've just got to push on, guys. We've just got to push on because we're doing 4 rounds this week. And I really don't want this to drag, okay? So let's go straight on with... how do you like your fish? Sunburned? Beautiful stuff. Red herring. I'm not sure I did a thing for the bespoke round. I'll sort that out. I'll sort that out for next time. It's only my second round of it, okay, guys? Let's just chill out with your criticisms. So red herring, of course, I'm going to give you all the answers for this round. It's nice and easy. You know all the answers. However, there is also one extra answer that is not, in fact, an answer. It's just a red herring. So you just need to match the questions to the answers, and you won't go far wrong. The topic this week, guys, a little bit of an interesting one, I think. You know, we lean heavily on films and TV in this quiz because I think they're the most popular ones, and music. Those are the big 3, okay? We go into books as well, but some people don't like books. But that's about as esoteric as we get. I thought, you know what? This is a modern world. There's a lot of different art forms out there, some newer than others. So this red herring round, it's all about podcasts. Yeah, we're stepping into the 21st century. Lovely stuff. Guile from Street Fighter, some smelly cheese, cat wearing glasses, never-ending story thing, maybe? Who knows? Your answers, very simply, guys, are this. We've got this one, Welcome to Night Vale. We've got Modern Love. We've got Grounded. We've got WTF. Oh, no, we turn that off. We're turning that off. We've got Serial And what's the last one that we've got? The Off Menu podcast. Okay, so we've got 6 podcasts here. We've got 5 questions. What's the red herring? Obviously, you don't actually get a point for the red herring, because if you get all the other questions right, then you're all done. Maybe that should be the thing. No, but that wouldn't work, would it? Because then if you wouldn't be able to get 4. Yeah. I'm just working this through in my head. Here we go. Question number 1. We're going to go through these pretty quickly, and then we'll go back through them so we can assign them to a proper answer. That's how this works best. Question number 1. Which podcast was adapted into a TV show on Amazon Prime? Amazon Prime. One of them, certainly. Number 2. Which podcast's first series centers on the murder of Hae Min Lee? Which podcast presents a fictional narrative in the form of a radio show? Question 4. Which podcast has featured interviews with Sia, Oliver Stone, Rose McGowan, and Boy George? And number 5, which podcast is hosted by comedians Ed Gamble and James Acaster? Which, in this podcasty world, has nothing to do with the podcast delivery system Acast. It's just a sheer coincidence. Let's go through those questions again then. Let's start assigning these. Number 1, which podcast was adapted into a TV show on Amazon Prime? Was it Grounded, Modern Love, The Off Menu Podcast, Serial, Welcome to Night Vale, or WTF? Question number 2. Which podcast's first series centers on the murder, my goodness, of Hae Min Lee? Question number 3. Which podcast presents a fictional narrative in the form of a radio show? Yeah, podcasts don't just have to be mates sitting around talking about nonsense. They can be written, crafted. That applies to one of these here. Number 4. Which podcast has featured interviews with Sia, Oliver Stone, Rose McGowan, and Boy George? Oh, Boy George. And the final question. Which podcast is hosted by comedians Ed Gamble and James Acaster? Acaster. I'm a big fan of Acast. I like the way that they recommend podcasts to me. They say, hey, Notme, you're a guy who enjoys creative podcasts about the world of entertainment and art. We think that you would really enjoy a financial podcast that's aimed specifically at Latinx women. That's a genuine one that was recommended to me. Niche. Nana Hobbob, no digital camera podcasts, unbelievable. Apologies, Nana. I do have to make sure that there is no other digital camera content in the rest of this quiz. Otherwise, it's almost too much, and then then any subsequent episode of the quiz would be a letdown for you. And babe, I just don't want this to be a letdown. Okay, let's go on with the musing, guys. Nice and simple. Let's get our imaginospheres into gear. You start a podcast where you interview celebrities about one topic only. What is that topic, and what is the podcast, called? See these podcasts all the time. Oh, I'm interviewing people about divorce. Just different people all about divorce. Oh, I'm interviewing people all about, what else could it be? Parenthood. Or I'm interviewing Latinx women about their finances. Whatever it might be. You only get one topic here. You speak to a lot of different people about one topic. What's that topic? What's your podcast called? I'm very interested to hear your answers to this one, guys. Very interested indeed. And that's 2 rounds gone, guys. That's 2 rounds gone. Let's head back to Maine. Gosh. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. The last time we did a bespoke round, a Drops of Imaginosphere round, it was a 4-round quiz. It rattled on for a good long while. We're at half past. We've already done 2 rounds. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling muscular and compact. We're finishing with Usey Choose, I think. Yeah, we're finishing with Usey Choose, which means prick up your ears, guys. Let's identify people by their voices. Telephone calls remain very popular in this world, even though you can't see the person you're speaking to. So you can't read their facial cues or know if they're doing the blah, blah, blah hand motion to somebody else while you're talking. So if a celebrity phones you to say that they love your YouTube videos and they want you to be a famous person with them, you owe it to yourself to know who they are, okay? That's what this round is all about. That is what this round is all about. IKTV. Very simple. I'm just gonna play you some audio of some celebrity voices. You just need to let me know who they are. You're going to get clues on this both from their tone, their pitch, their timbre, of course, but also maybe a little bit from what they're saying. Okay, so really pay attention to what they're saying as well. Moving through the rounds at a brisk but not oppressive pace. AOL Time Warner Official, thank you. Thank you for keeping me honest. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. Appreciate that big time. So let's make sure your headphones and your volume are turned right the heck up as we go for the first one. And I will say, before we start, I believe this might be the this might be the trickiest round of I Know That Voice we have yet done. Okay, the longer it goes, the less particularly unique voices we do have. Yeah, so good luck. Number 1.
To do a screen test. And I didn't read the whole screenplay until I got the part. So I had those 10, 12 pages to read. I couldn't make out, what is this? Is this like a parody of Flash Gordon? Now, who talks like this?
Interesting. Interesting. Whoever could that be? Let's go number 2.
Feel about Friends with Benefits.
I've never seen it.
But I kind of know what it's about because supposedly it's exactly like No Strings Attached, and I did that movie. So I loved it. Plus it had Mila Kunis in it. Isn't she the best?
Few different clues in that one. Number 3?
Yeah, I'm a Bond girl. I didn't have a romantic story with Bond, which is usually what happens, but I am a Bond girl in No Time to Die, and it was one of the most wonderful experiences I've ever had on set. I love that.
Number 4?
Now, not only did I go to Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College, I graduated from it, making me the only college graduate on the cast of Jackass.
Gosh. Lots of clues, but who are they clues to? Who are they clues to? And then final one. I think you're doing great, guys. Can I just take a moment to say, I think you're doing great. Yeah? It's not always easy, this quiz. But I think you're putting in the hard work, and I think it's really paying off. Number 5.
Every time you fold it, it breaks the butter up, so it looks like a marble by the time you finished it. And you need to roll it down to about 5 millimeters, and then cut them into triangles, roll them up, and there you have a beautiful croissant.
What the heck was he talking about? SJ Beck 72, this is so hard. Yeah. Smelling a little bit of regret coming there from SJ Beck 72. This is your choice, but if you don't know it, you learn it. Yeah, if you don't know it, you learn it. That's more like it, says Maple Panda. Okay, that's good. Well, if you get one, you get one, and that's fine. That's fine. A lot of people digging that last one. A lot of people digging that last one. And I'm pleased. My God, I'm pleased. Let's go for the musing, guys. Or if you need to hear any of those again, let me know. But we'll go for the musing first. You're due to be interviewed on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and the producers contact you ahead of time to see if there's a game you'd like to play Jimmy at on the show to demonstrate that you're just a regular, fun-loving person. What game do you suggest? They like doing that on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. They like playing a little game. They do, what do? They do, I've seen him play like remote control cars, beer pong, maybe a table tennis thing as well. There was something with throwing American footballs, all kinds of games. Jimmy don't care. As long as it makes for a good little clip to put on social media, Jimmy's on board, okay? But what would you suggest? What would you like to play with Jimmy Fallon on TV as part of an entertainment-based interview show? What game would you suggest? Nana Hobbob might get one. That's fine. That's fine. If you get one, you're doing great. I mean, Nana, of course, has the benefit of being able to... You can all choose to use the digital camera round if you wish. Definitely 1 and 5 again. Absolutely. Of course. Of course. Number 1, here we go.
To do a screen test. And I didn't read the whole screenplay until I got the part. So I had those 10, 12 pages to read. I couldn't make out, what is this? Is this like a parody of Flash Gordon? Who talks like this?
Interesting. Interesting. And number 5.
Every time you fold it, it breaks the butter up, so it looks like a marble by the time you finished it. You need to roll it down to about 5 millimeters, and then cut them into triangles, roll them up, and there you have a beautiful croissant.
About 5 millimeters. About 5 millimeters, guys. FYI. Let's go back to Maine. Let's go back to Maine. We are rolling here, guys. We are really rolling. Hopefully it's still not oppressive, but it's 20-5, and we're about to go into the final round. And that makes me excited. That makes me excited. What makes me double excited is this is a brand new round, guys. Before we get to that, let's just take a moment, shall we? Let's just take a moment to compose ourselves. And whilst we do that, M. Acton in this week sent me something. Now, this is more of a most week show type of segment where you guys used to create a lot of wonderful art and send it to me, which I always appreciated. But M. Acton said, yeah, I know the most week show hasn't been on for some time and likely will never be on again, but that doesn't mean that I can't still create some art based on the wonderful world of I Am SmART, the wonderful world of Lifetainment. And M. Acton sent me this. You'll probably remember a couple of weeks ago, we collectively, was it M. Acton that made this suggestion that this was the suggestion? I forget. I just like the communality of it all. Floofing, to create an image or a rendering of an animal using fluff, scales, debris, effluvia from that specific animal. I used it last week when I created the wonderful image Jesus Floofed. Jesus Floofed. Yeah, it's a nice frame. And M. Acton has done... And who is this? M. Acton? Who is this? Is there a name? Because this... well, which one is the creation? That's maybe taking it a step too far, and I don't want to be patronizing. This is Minnie. This is Minnie, and this is Minnie Floofed. Minnie Floofed. Look at that. Yes, there are some digital amendments to that. Yes, there is a little bit of this isn't real. And yes, I did coin the style of floofing. M. Acton showing us how it's done. Showing us how it's done. And several people have done it already. Several people have done it already. But I can't not do it. That is art, M. Acton. We've created a new form of art here. Doesn't that just get you jazzed? Croc points. That is the perfect use of the croc point emote. AOL Time Warner official. Thank you so much. Croc points to M. Acton there for creating and then perfecting a brand new style of art. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for sending that in. Let's have a brand new round, guys. Usey choose. Usey choose, baby. So, I came up with a brand new round for this quiz because I wanted to challenge you guys. I wanted to push the boundaries a little bit, and I wanted to ask some trickier questions. How do you ask trickier questions whilst not alienating people? Very simple. You give people the answers as well. Okay, we have a version of that with red herring. We have a version of that with yay or nay, but let's expand that a little bit. Let's appeal to our American viewers, who Americans, of course, love multiple choice standardized testing. Okay, absolutely can't get enough of it. So I thought, well, what if we just do a multiple choice round? Some would say it's similar to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I would disagree. But I didn't know what to call it. Multiple choice? That's a bit boring. So I said to cameraman George, I do like to throw him the occasional creative bone. Let's not make this a euphemism. I said, George, what do you think I should name this round? I'll name it whatever you want to name it. You know, because you're a good lad at times. The mistake I made was asking him after a couple of glasses of Rioja. It's a red wine. And cameraman George came up with Usey Choose. So if it makes no sense, let's blame George. Goodbye, Usey Tuesday. Lovely stuff. Ruby Tuesday style. That's really good. Our topic for the first ever, my gosh, there should be trumpets playing. The first ever round of Usey Choose. TB says it makes perfect sense. Maybe people are getting on board with it. That's good. Then it was deliberate. The topic for the first round, poetry for children. Let's see how much you all know about poetry for children. Question number 1. In The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll, what is the only adjective used to describe the fearsome creature? Is it Brangine, Carbeach, Manxome, or Ruglick? This, of course, Lewis Carroll's famous nonsense poem. Some of you may think, instinctively, I want to tell you that there's more than one adjective used to describe the Jabberwocky. I would advise you to read that poem again. No. The stuff that the old chap describes to his son, stuff that the Jabberwocky does, sure. There's only one. There's movements that only one adjective used to describe the Jabberwocky, and it's one of these. Question number 2. In One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss, which of these is not an adjective that's used to describe a fish? Bad, glad, mad, sad. Kicking off pretty adjective heavy. That's not how we're going to continue. That's not a prerequisite for Usey Choose. But I've given you all the options. Just choose which one you think is the right one. Cameraman George, hello to you. Nice of you to join us. Nice of you to wake up at 4:45 on a Sunday. Gosh, no, he's been out. He's been out with chums. Question number 3. In The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear, what instrument does the owl use to serenade the pussycat? Flute, guitar, harp, violin. Please, guys, please. Just don't, okay? Let's keep this clean, okay? Let's keep this clean. Cameraman George, I've been here just listening in. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. Can be called lurking sometimes. Can be called lurking. I certainly wouldn't go so far as to say that, but you should know the world that you're dabbling in. Choose which instrument. What's the next thing that you need to choose? In The King's Breakfast by A. Milne, what does the king want on his bread? Does he want butter, honey, jam, or marmalade? You'll notice for all of these potential answers, because sometimes you can get a sense of like, oh, he always picks the right answer's always in the third one, or he favors the first one, or if he's done all of the other ones, then it's got to be the fourth one. These are all alphabetized, okay? So you've got no chance of getting in my head with which one I'm putting the right answer in. Alphabetized, okay? And the final question. In The Tiger by William Blake, what is the only other animal mentioned? Obviously, the tiger is mentioned extensively. But is there also a butterfly, a lamb, a lion, or a stallion? Nana Hobbob, can I phone a friend, or is that too much like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'm trying to avoid similarities with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, okay? It doesn't own multiple choice, okay? And just because I have created a round that is based around multiple choice and therefore possible answers, doesn't mean in any way at all, for any reason, that I have stolen or taken ideas from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which I believe is the intellectual property of Endemol, a Dutch television production company. So if you're one of these Endemol guys, back off, okay? There is no phone a friends here. There is no lifelines. There are no lighting changes. Yeah, whatever it might be. There's no the funny little modern seats that are typified. This is just multiple choice, okay? This is my own thing. So please don't. I don't have the money for a protracted legal battle. I think you know that. And let's leave it alone. Please. And the musing here, and this is going to be tricky, guys. Write a 2 or 4 line poem with a rhyme scheme, please, on the subject of an animal, aka the tiger. 2 or 4 line poem with a rhyme scheme on the subject of an animal. I'm going to give you a minute for that. I would also say, with regard to Nana's question, can I phone a friend? This is, and I haven't researched this thoroughly, but this is, if not then certainly one of the easiest quizzes to cheat on. That is quite deliberate. The easier it is to cheat, the lamer it is to cheat. Yeah? It would be so... You're watching this online. You know what else is online? The answers to every single one of these questions, okay? You'd have to be some grade A dweeb, yeah, some real loser to cheat on this, okay? So just let's all respect the integrity of the quiz. Let's just stick to our own stuff, okay? Let's just keep this honest, keep this legit. I'm very excited about these. Very excited indeed. Let's go back to Maine. Guys, we did it. 1651. And we have finished all 4 rounds. Okay? 4 rounds. AOL Time Warner Official, my quiz scores speak volumes to my non-dweebiness. That is to your credit, AOL Time Warner Official. That is to your credit. Dweebs, get out of here. Non-dweebs, stick around because we got the answers coming up. As you have completed all of the rounds, I thought I would give you a little bit of a treat. This is George is featured in this very short video, referred to, if not physically featured, of course, because of the circumstances of his habitation in this country. But I thought, I like to give you a little something to watch, and I know that not all of you follow me on social media, so this will be new to at least some of you. This is just a little slice of life. From myself and cameraman George as we have moved to New Jersey. Here we go.
Oaxaca Food Market. Sabor a Peru. Before we moved to New Jersey, cameraman George was a little worried that he wouldn't be able to find his people. El Gordo. Angel Azul. When we lived in Hell's Kitchen, his social life was rich and full. His good friends Richard and Fulgencio introduced him to quite a lot of people. Pampita Meat Shop. La Concha. I said, this is America. Much like hamburgers or firearms, you people are everywhere. Torta Truck. I mean, look at all these wonderful Latinx businesses on just this one road. Pio Pio Restaurant. That's gotta be right. I mean, look, they've even got their own tax here. Wait, Latino tax? So the women don't have to pay it? Oh, jeez.
So there we go, just a little slice of life there, set to some jaunty Latin music, and with some fire editing around it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Richard and Fulgencio, good lads. They've been good to cameraman George. Introduced him to a lot of very cool people. They haven't been over here yet. Because Richard does have a full sleeve tattoo. And so I just think, without wishing to stereotype or profile in that way, I just think safer to just not let him inside my house. Let's get on with the answers then, guys. Let's get on with these answers. Let's start with Bespoke, the Drops of Imaginosphere round. What feature would you want on your dream digital camera? Guys, don't say it out loud, because if you say it out loud, you know what happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, because I can't hear you where you are. I have a global audience, okay? So I need you to get it in the chat. That's what I need you to do. Get your answers in the chat. What feature would you want on your dream digital camera? While we go through the answers to this, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people who really score pretty high on this one. Question 1, how big is the image sensor on a full-frame DSLR camera? Of course it's 35mm. Of course it's 35mm. Whilst that says millimeter, cool people say mil. Cool people say mil. They don't have time for the immeter. Question number 2. The highest megapixel sensor currently available is in the Fujifilm GFX 100S. How many megapixels does it offer? Plus or minus 5 megapixels. The clue is a little bit in the title here. I have been quite generous here with the plus or minus 5, because it is 102 megapixels. So if you did just guess 100 megapixels, because that's in the thing, you will get the answer correct. So anything from, what would that be? Anything from 97 to 107? Anything from 98 to 107? Right. Plus or minus. Well, so it's actually 11, isn't it? Yeah, so it's 11 years that you get. Yeah. So I have actually been very generous with that. Good, well done if you got that one right. Number 3, according to digitalcameraworld.com, the best mirrorless camera for traveling in 2023 is the OMD EM10 Mark IV. Which company makes it? It is Olympus. Olympus. They name all of their cameras with these very, very catchy, very evocative titles. Make it seem like you're taking photos with some kind of futuristic android. Question number 4. Name a German digital camera brand. I want to take a picture, but I don't want to use film. Any of these? Agfa, Leica, Medion, Minox, Praktica, Rolei, Tevion, or Traveler. Or any others. If you have another German camera brand that you would like. These are the only ones that Wikipedia gave me, but I'm more than happy to investigate further if you have a different answer. And question number 5. In 2018, Canon and Nikon finally started taking mirrorless cameras seriously. It's been so long. Canon released the EOS R, but name either of Nikon's mirrorless releases that year. It was, of course, you're going to kick yourself, guys. You're going to kick yourself. It was the Nikon Z6 and Z7. The English would refer to that as Z6 and Z7, but in America, Z6 and Z7, which actually translates in French to the 6 and the 7. Well done if you got any of those questions right. Nana, I hope you got several of those right. I hope you got a lovely, robust score for your 10,000 drops of imaginosphere. But let's see some of these answers. What feature would you want on your dream digital camera? What have we got? Well, Time Warner Official, sticking with that theme, a 3.5-inch floppy disk drive. Nice and simple. It will give you ample space for 8, maybe 9 very small photos. What you would get, though, and I think the thing that most of us miss most keenly about floppy disks, is that lovely sound of, you get the lovely tactile, clunky, clicky, pop that in, but you get the little, as the metal bit is slid across. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Definitely not do that. There would be an alert on it to let me know when an animal is close by. That's lovely. That's lovely. So you're instantly walking along. Everything's fine. You're in nature, certainly. Having fun. And then little sensor goes off. Meep, 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 meep. And it's like, oh, raccoon, 4 o'clock. Woof, and you're straight round. Shika, 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 shika. Straight away. Or you look down and you say, woodfinch. I've got a lot of photos of woodfinches already. I'm going to leave that alone. That'd be really nice. That'd be really nice. If you could get an alert on it for an animal and also a digital camera focused pickpocket as well. That would be handy as well. Lots of handy stuff on these digital cameras. TB Douglas, the ability to detect and replace closed eyes with an image of open eyes. Isn't that a thing now? Isn't that a thing? Did I see that? In one of these like terrifying AI things that you're able to, it will learn what your eyes look like when they're open, and it will just paste it over. So I think TB, your dreams, if not now, are very soon to become a delicious, delightful, terrifying reality. Lovely stuff. Nana Hobbob, something crazy like 30 stops of dynamic range. You're talking crazy, Nana. 30 stops? What is this, Buck Rogers in the 25th century? Wait, no, it can teleport you to a location where there is something interesting to take pictures of. I mean, that's they're about they're about as realistic as each other, aren't they? 30 stops of dynamic range. Honestly, Nana, you are just too much. AOL Time Warner Official, what a dream. A lot of dreams going on here. A lot of dreams. The ability to autofocus on whatever in the frame you want to focus on by reading your mind. So I'm thinking some like E.T. style little wires on a little sticky sucker thing, or maybe some kind of delightful tiara that will read into your thoughts. You say, yeah, I want to take it, but I know I'm putting something in the foreground, but I want it to be an artistically out of focus thing in the foreground, because what I'm really wanting to get a picture of is that lovely filet-o-fish sandwich in the background. Yes, I know that there's a milkshake in the foreground, but give me that filet-o-fish. Give me that filet-o-fish in all of its crumbly, delicious glory. That's a really good one. That's a really good one, Super Nash 18. Lovely, lovely stuff. And also the tiara. Maybe I just want a tiara. I just think it looks pretty cool. SJBX72. When White Cat jumped off the fence down the way. Oops, please ignore that last comment. Wow. Okay. I'm not sure I can ignore it, SJBX72. That's going to stay with me for some time. And that's going to be the last thought I think of before I close my eyes to sleep tonight. When White Cat jumped off the fence down the way. When White Cat jumped off the fence down the way. Oh, yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that, SJBX72. Nothing to do with digital cameras, so I'm afraid you don't get a point, but lovely, lovely stuff. Nana Hobbob, bringing the knowledge. The Canon R3 can kind of do that. The Canon R3 can kind of read your mind. Does it come with a mind-reading tiara, Nana? That's what I'm interested in. I think that's what we're all interested in. M. Acton, when you look at the photo image on the screen, anyone who you wish had been there in the moment is also in the photos, but who has passed away would appear in the shot exactly as you imagine or wish they were, like a spiritual Photoshop. That's lovely. That's lovely. So you can say, oh, I took this picture, and you know what? Do you know who would have loved to have been there? Nana. Not Nana. My grandmother. My grandmother would have loved to have been there at that particular Dick's Sporting Goods, because she loves bargains on fishing rods. And do you know who else would have loved to have been there? Well, I'm not sure necessarily that they would have loved to have been there, but I certainly would have loved for them to have been there. Prince. So here's a picture of me in Dick's Sporting Goods with grandmother and Prince. That's a lovely idea and would lead to some truly spectacular photo albums. Lovely, lovely stuff. I just don't understand the SJ Beck art. I don't. I tried to... Was that a song? I don't know. I tried to give it something, but is that the right thing to do? I don't know. If you've put a musing in the chat, guys, and it is about digital cameras, points all round. Well done. Lovely, lovely stuff. I enjoyed that a lot. What was next? Red herring, I believe. Red herring. Let's get those herrings out. Here we go. Here are the answers. Bish, bash, bosh, boosh, binch, banch. Did I take one off again? That one. Is that 6? That's 6. Okay. Oh, no, we need to do the musing, don't we? Is that going to... yeah. You start a podcast where you interview celebrities about one topic only. What is that topic, and what is the podcast called? That's all you need. Give me the name of a podcast and give me a single topic that you are interviewing celebrities about. I think this is going to be fascinating, guys. I think you guys are going to throw up some real interesting takes. Question number 1. Which podcast was adapted into a TV show on Amazon Prime? It is, of course, the wonderful Modern Love. Modern Love. There's some really good ones of that. Really lovely love stories. Some of them not necessarily to my taste, but that's, it's an anthology show. You pays your money, you takes your choice. Number 2, which podcast's first series centers on the Moida, if I can add a little bit of 1930s gangster to that, on the Moida of Hae Min Lee. It was, of course, arguably the first podcast to really hit it big in a mainstream way, Serial, with Sarah Koenig, and her lovely close to the microphone voice. This is what we're doing here. And then he died, but then somebody murdered him. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Well done if you got that one right. Number 3, which podcast presents a fictional narrative in the form of a radio show? Welcome to Night Vale. It is a crazy world that they've concocted in Welcome to Night Vale. Real jazzy stuff going on there. It's a desert community with just everything strange going on. You'd wonder why anyone would live there, but it's very, very interesting if you haven't ever listened to it. Number 4, which podcast has featured interviews with Sia, Oliver Stone, Rose McGowan, and Boy George? Oh, Boy George, it is Grounded. Grounded, which is the Louis Theroux podcast. Hello, I'm Louis. I'm Louis from the BBC. I'm here to interview Oliver Stone. Hello, I'm Louis. Louis Theroux, hello. Hi, lovely to meet you. It's not bad. And the final one, is it Off Menu or is it WTF? Which podcast is hosted by comedians Ed Gamble and James Acaster? It is Off Menu. The Off Menu podcast, which is lovely. Getting to know people through food, which is kind of potentially the kind of thing that we're going to be dealing with in your musings as well. So the red herring this week, WTF, which is a podcast hosted by comedian Mark Maron, about all kinds of stuff. My gosh, he has a lot of a wide breadth of people on his podcast. Some of his celeb chums, and it's he's a very affable chap. Sometimes a bit grumpy, but in that way that just makes you like him a little bit more. Well done if you got some of those right. Podcasts, I feel like, is such a broad topic. I feel like there's if you know it, you know it, and if you've never heard of it, you've never heard of it. So well done if you got any of those right. The musing. You start a podcast where you interview celebrities about one topic only. What is that topic and what is the podcast called? Let's have a look. Definitely not Duda. Their favorite childhood memories and call it guest name as a child. Lovely, lovely stuff. So we could have, who could we have? Louis Theroux as a child. What's your lovely memory of you from when you were a child, Louis? Oh, it's when I was interviewing my the man who worked at the corner shop, Mr. Patel, and I asked him about shoplifting, and it really sent me down the path that I would then go on for the rest of my life. I'm Louis. Louis. That's nice. I like that, definitely. That's good. Favorite childhood memories, yeah. Because that's favorite childhood memories, unless you're speaking to, your Miley Cyruses or your Judy Garlands. That's when everybody was even Stevens. Nobody's famous, so you get a lot of resonance with the stories that they tell. That's nice. AOL Time Warner official. Floppy disks? No, you moved on. Okay, that's good. The topic is corporate mergers. The podcast is called I Can't Believe They Did AOL Dirty Like That. Gosh. AOL Time Warner official. Do you know what? You could say, let it go. You'd be very within your rights to say AOL Time Warner official. Just let it go, babe. It's fine. It's, let's focus on the things that we can change. But not letting it go probably would lead to a good podcast, because if this is all you're going to be talking about, you need to have that fire. You need to have that passion, for corporate mergers. And if there's one thing that AOL Time Warner Official has passion for outside of the realm of 3.5-inch floppy disks, it's corporate mergers. We all know that. That's lovely stuff. Thank you. TB Douglas, I'd interview them about their favorite book and favorite cocktail. It's called TB Douglas. My goodness. You want to talk about creativity? Tequila Mockingbird. Outstanding work. No notes. The favorite book, the favorite cocktail. Would they be drinking the favorite cocktail whilst you interview them about the favorite book? In which case, as the review goes on, it just gets sloppier and sloppier. That's quite fun. Tequila Mockingbird. I'm just wonderful. That's wonderful. It's almost so good that I absolutely wouldn't blame you if that was already in the holster. If you were already musing about setting up such a podcast, because if that was in the moment, TB Douglas, there's some crock points there. I think that's exquisite work. As Maple Panda, what's their favorite bus route? That's nice, because then again we're probably delving into childhood memories, delving into the world of buses, the journeys that we take within ourselves when we're on buses, memories of buses. Gives a lovely little boost. This isn't why we're doing it, but it's a nice ancillary benefit that it does give a nice little boost to public transport and interest therein, which is always a good idea, because then it gets a little bit more funding, and it has the money. Bus companies do start to have the money to just clean them up a little bit, Little bit of the dirt on there we can get rid. That's nice. Nana Hobbob, they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard, where we just talk about Lord of the Rings. Lovely stuff. That's excellent. I mean, there must be. We're gonna head back to Maine, but there absolutely must be a podcast about that already. Podcast Lord of the Rings. Nine of the best Lord of the Rings podcasts. Anything here. Unexpected podcast, Talking Tolkien. Two old friends, long-time Tolkien enthusiasts. Extremely long episodes. I'm talking upwards of 3 or even 4 hours. Gosh. Right, yeah. Not focused on reading through the books, but instead a more general conversation about all things Tolkien. Ned, Oriana, and Jared. Of course it's Ned, Oriana, and Jared. Okay. Lord of the Rings Minute. Close watching of the film adaptations. Minute by minute. Okay. Alan and Sean on the Prancing Pony podcast. So none of these seem to be celeb-based. None of them seem to be celeb-based. This time between 4 academics who study various areas of literature and language. Tolkien professor. I think you've got a USP there. Nana. We're talking about Lord of the Rings with celebrities. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Gamer Hall. Welcome to Night Vale. It's one of my favorite podcasts. My favorite characters is the faceless old woman who secretly lives in your home. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff. I like the the formless shape that just exists for a period outside the radio station, and you something like you can't look at it, or you can't talk about it, because if you talk about it then it comes closer to you, but if you just ignore it then it will go away. Very creepy, weird stuff. Monkey Pixie Funk. Celebrity crisp talk about favorite crisp, most unusual, unexpected rogue crisp found in a packet, dream flavor of crisps, best filling in a crisp sandwich. The list is endless. Yeah, I think you've got a lot of legs with that. A lot of legs. A lot of legs. And these days, with our crisp or potato chip, to include other cultures, our options are so vast that we really can get into the good stuff. Celebrity crisp talk. It's a very direct. It's no Tequila Mockingbird, but it's very direct and to the point. I respect that. Emma Acton, the podcast would be called Cat Chat Catch Up. Would just be chatting to celebrity cat owners about how their cats are and how cat owner life is treating them. Maybe indulge in a little floofing too. I mean, lovely to floof with a celeb. Lovely to just get a celeb on, have a little chat, and just have a little floof, a little co-floof. Lovely stuff. They would have to bring their own fur in a bag, maybe. You could do that. Or would they bring the cat and they would groom the cat? A lot of stuff going on there. Cat chat catch up. Cat chat catch up. It's a lovely one to say as well. That always works. Ice to Eat You. Supernatural and 8. Look at this. A podcast asking celebs how they eat a cornetto. Interesting. Are they a licker, a nibbler, or a biter? This is getting a little... Again, I did specify early doors, we don't want anything sexual here, okay? So let's really try and... Yeah? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt on this one, but if it keeps on happening, I think we're going to have conversation. These seem to be 3 most common methods based on extensive research in my household. Okay, so you've done a bit of research. That's nice. Then we can also move into, I suppose, favorite flavors, and not a lot else necessarily. But I think the thing that I like, I think Welcome to Night Vale is one of these. Where the episodes are only about 20 minutes long. Who says that a podcast has to be eons in length? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes you're commuting. You've got an hour you need to kill. Sometimes that, sure. Sometimes you're just taking your dog out for a wee and you just need just a little bit of something to kill some time. Just a little chunklet, and that works out well. Ice to Eat You, and that is a fantastic title. That is a fantastic, fantastic title. Puns are word art. And that's a great example of it. Points all round, guys. Points all round. And the final? No, that was red herring, wasn't it? Gosh, we've got a lot to get through. And it's 18 minutes past. Okay. We can do it, guys. Let's just stop panicking, for God's sake. It was I Know That Voice. Yes. Musing was the Tonight Show one. Get it in the chat. What game are you playing with Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show as we go through the answers to these? Number 1.
To do a screen test. And I didn't read the whole screenplay until I got the part. So I had those 10, 12 pages to read. I couldn't make out, what is this? Is this like a parody of Flash Gordon? Now, who talks like this?
Mark Hamill of Star Wars fame. I wouldn't know because I've, of course, never seen Star Wars, which is a pretty unusual and interesting thing about me. So I hope you were able to get that. Number 2.
Feel about Friends with Benefits. I've never seen it, but I kind of know what it's about because supposedly it's exactly like No Strings Attached, and I did that movie, so I loved it. Plus, it had Mila Kunis in it. Isn't she the best?
Ashton Kutcher. He was in No Strings Attached, and he's a fan of Mila Kunis, who I believe is his paramour. So those are your clues there, outside of just that lovely tone of his voice. Beautiful tone. You could listen to it for hours, couldn't you, and not want to kill yourself once. Number 3.
Yeah, I'm a Bond girl. I didn't have a romantic story with Bond, which is usually what happens, but I am a Bond girl in No Time to Die, and it was one of the most wonderful experiences I've ever had on set. I love that.
The powerfully, profoundly beautiful Ana de Armas, Bond girl in No Time to Die. She just came in for about 20 minutes, an incredible action scene, kicked butt, and then left. And had a great time by all accounts, which is good for her. Good for her.
Now, not only did I go to Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College, I graduated from it, making me the only college graduate on the cast of Jackass.
Steve-O there. Steve-O, the only college graduate in the cast of Jackass. I believe there are some crock points available if you actually said Stephen Glover, which is his actual name. But Steve-O will absolutely get you the point there. Was that 4? That was number 4, I think, yeah. And then number 5.
Every time you fold it, it breaks the butter up, so it looks like a marble by the time you finished it. You need to roll it down to about 5 millimeters, and then cut them into triangles, roll them up, and there you have a beautiful croissant.
Telling you how to make a beautiful croissant, it is Paul Hollywood with the ice blue eyes of a hunting panther. My goodness, he draws you in, doesn't he? And if you say that, oh, you know, isn't this all about artistes? Is he an artiste? You've clearly never tasted one of his loaves. You've clearly never popped a couple of his dough balls in your mouth, okay? Musing. What have we got? Definitely not due to Two Truths and a Lie. Very good. I believe they've played a version of that that is similar to the UK panel comedy quiz show, Would I Lie to You? Where somebody has to read out a statement about themselves, and it might be true and it might be not true. And they play it in threes, and the other 2 people have to ask you questions, and you have to lie convincingly, and then they have to guess whether it's a truth or a lie. But Two Truths and a Lie would absolutely work. Gangbusters, absolutely gangbusters. You might get some interesting facts out about some of our favorite famous people. Magic the Gathering, says Nana Hobbob. That's quite a long game. How long does a game of Magic take? 5 to 20 minutes. Okay. On average, a game can take 7 to 9 turns. So that's possible. I mean, it would be most of an episode, but you know, if they want to try and court the nerd viewership, they could certainly do a lot worse. That's good. I like that. TB Douglas, Spot It. It's tense and fast-paced, and I get very competitive about it. I do not know what TB is talking about. Let's go to main. Let's see some examples. Let's see what we've got. Spot It. Mind-bending. I think I've seen this. Where it's like different pictures, and it's like a game of Snap, but there's different things. Like, oh, there's 2 red balloons, and then there's like a cactus there and a cactus there. Okay, that's good, and that's fast. I believe that would be fast. So that's tense. And you get very competitive about it. They like to make the claim that Jimmy Fallon himself is very competitive as well. So that could, if you came to blows, that's your morning headline sorted. Great viewing figures for them, and depending on who started it, it could be a nice career boost for you. I wouldn't say aiming to start a fight with Jimmy Fallon. I think they're quite difficult to do inorganically. But if a fight starts, you want to make sure that you're finishing it. Yeah? With Jimmy Fallon, with Seth Meyers, with Jimmy Kimmel, with all of these late night hosts, you don't want them to get one over on you, be able to take you down. You'll never hear the end of it. They do monologue jokes 5 nights a week for the rest of time. Okay? You don't want to be in their crosshairs. AOL Time Warner Official, a full game of Monopoly, preferably with Questlove and the other guest that is on that night. Okay, well, let's see about this then. We got away with Magic the Gathering. Do we get away with... how long is the average game of Monopoly? What are the stages of Mono? Game of... Oh, I see. I assume that the autocorrect would have would have carried me through there. Around 45 minutes. And then how long is the Tonight Show? Approximately 4 hours. Oh no, that's not no. The taping will last approximately 1 hour and 30 minutes. That can't be how long it lasts, though. So just showing Jimmy Fallon. How long is it? Number of seasons, number of episodes. 1,800. Good lord. Come on, guys. How long is an episode of The Tonight Show? Why do we not get this answer? How can we not get this answer? Like an hour? Let's say an hour. So that's with adverts, which in America makes up the lion's share of that. But it could be. I tell you what, it could be. Head to NBC.com for the full Monopoly experience, and they want to get those clicks, and that's good. Monkey Pixie Funk Cold Wings Challenge, like Hot Wings version, but with increasing levels of cold going down to absolute zero for comedy results. I mean, sure, you're taking inspiration from something and you're giving it a playful twist. I like that a lot. Nana Hobbob, can't say I've tasted a Paul Hollywood loaf. Nana, you're not living. You're not living. When he pops some seeds on the top, pop some nuts into his loaf, get them down. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Guess Who with the faces being actual celebs. That's an outstanding idea, Super Nash 18. That's an outstanding idea. I don't think you'd necessarily be able to get away with that without paying the makers of Guess Who, Hasbro. Canadian rock band. That's not what Guess Who game. It's now owned by Hasbro. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay Hasbro for that, but I mean, that's gonna work. I think that would definitely work. Maple Panda, we can both read through a newspaper, magazine, or promotional material and race to see who finds the first spelling mistake. Wowzers. There's some pedantry going on there that I really, really do appreciate. I'm not necessarily sure it has the visual elan of a celebrity game of Guess Who, but it's certainly competitive. It would wrap up that tension, because it'd just be silence. It would just be silence. Probably be an online segment. Yeah, AOL Time Warner, absolutely. We play Bop It, but when it says pass it, you have to actually dance. If there's one thing Jimmy Fallon loves doing, it's absolutely going for a dance. It's 1:30 already. Okay, points all round, guys. Points all round. This is going long, but we're having a great time and we're not stressing about it at all. Usey choose, guys. Usey choose. The musing us some poems. Let's just read some poems that you guys have written. Let's read some poems that you guys have written. It's the musings that take the time, isn't it? That's what I'm learning. It's the musings that take the time. We can get through the questions as quickly as we want, but it's those musings. Question 1. In The Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll, what is the only adjective used to describe the fearsome character? Is it Brand, Car, Beach, Manxome, or Ruglick? It is, of course, Manxome. Long time the Manxome foe he sought. Long time the Manxome foe he sought. And though in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the Tolgy wood and burbled as it came. Question number 2. In One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss, which of these is not an adjective used to describe a fish? Is it bad, glad, mad, or sad? The answer is mad. Because glad and sad were a kind of opposite, so it was really between bad and mad, but well done if you got that one right. Number 3, in The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear, what instrument does the owl use to serenade the cat? Is it flute, guitar, harp, or violin? It is the guitar, using a lovely guitar to serenade a beautiful manicured cat. Number 4, in The King's Breakfast by A.A. Milne, what does the king want on his bread? butter, honey, jam, or marmalade. Nobody could call me a fussy man, but I do like a little bit of butter on my bread. Well done if you got that one right. The Dr. Seuss one maybe angled a little bit more towards the Americans. A.A. Milne one angles slightly more towards the Brits. It all washes clean in the end. In The Tiger by William Blake, what is the only other animal mentioned? Butterfly, lamb, lion, or stallion? It is the lamb. Did he who create did he who make the lamb make you? Who made the lamb make you, or create the lamb? Basically saying, you are crazy dangerous. Did God create everything? My gosh. And the answer is, of course, yes. Let's get these poems going. SJ Back 72. Oh, here's where it comes in. When the white cat jumped off the fence down the way, it landed on spilt paint and ended up grey. I mean, you want to talk about brick jokes. You want to talk about something paying off. I mean, this is like The Wire or something. Something that happens in episode 2 pays off in episode 42 in season 6. Excellent stuff. When the white cat jumped off the fence down the way, it landed on spilt paint and ended up grey. Lovely rhythm, lovely rhyme. And you can see it. You can see it. It paints a word picture. Lovely stuff. Definitely not Duda. The naked mole rat asked to dance with the bat. The bat flew away, so the mole had to solo... Okay. The naked mole rat asked to dance with the bat. The bat flew away, so the mole had a solo sway. Solo sway. That's great. That's great. That's what it does feel like. It's a lovely... It's a very poetic way to describe having a dance on your own. I'm just having a solo sway. Is that what you wanted to do? No, ideally I would have been dancing with the bat, but the bat just didn't seem interested at all. Nana Hobbob, try as they might, the river fish couldn't get through their traffic jam, but the beaver was right. This ecosystem really needed a dam. Lovely, lovely stuff. And a little shout out for the beaver, which you don't always get. Episode 69, guys. Let's get rid of that smut. Let's get rid of that smut. The manatee drifted through the Florida Everglades, happy to no longer be confused for mermaids. Lovely, lovely, and a nice bit of information about manatees being arguably the inspiration for mermaids. People seeing a manatee and thinking that's a could be just a very attractive larger lady, but in fact it was a manatee. Soldiers, sailors rather. They've all got different tastes. A skunk is stinky and smelly too. That's why it's always feeling blue. Oh, heartbreaking, Super Nashwan 8. My goodness. Hey skunk, how you feeling? Feeling blue. Feeling a bit blue. Why are you feeling blue? Because I kind of smell. So nobody wants to hang around with me. Are you holding your breath? No, I'm just wondering how you're doing. I just need to tie my shoelace over there. Oh, the tragic life of a skunk. Tragic life of a skunk. Any more for any more? Doesn't seem like it. Excellent points all round, guys. That was a successful first round of Usey Choose. Head back to main. Guess who? We've still got Guess Who on the thing. Guys, it's 34 and we've still got the most exciting minute in quiz show history. Let's get to it. Oh, wait, we got one through from M. Acton. My cat is cute. My cat is sweet. I've the nicest pussy you'll ever meet. See, this is the problem. And this kind of ties in quite nicely, actually. Cameraman George does not necessarily share my aversion to carnality. And I said to cameraman George, I'm going to really limit the amount of smutty talk that there is in this episode. And cameraman George said, well, if you really focus on it and you really tell people to not do it and they don't have any outlet, once they finish the quiz, you might just be sending all of these sexed up maniacs into the world. And then if something happens, that's going to be on your conscience. If somebody, drops their trousers in a park or, starts licking a stranger, whatever it might be. So my advice would be to give them an outlet. So for the minute to win it, and remember, we get every guess in its individual chat message. You need to read my mind. You need to... I'm looking at it right now, my light box, which this is a live feed of, but it's not on at the moment, so you can't see it. I've written something on there. What have I written on there? I've written a euphemism for sex, okay? I might live to regret this, but the countdown's on. M. Acton, please. M. Acton, please. Euphemisms, okay? Nothing. That's. Let's keep it somewhat family friendly, okay? It can be words. It can be phrases. How's your father? Here we go. Knocking boots. Lovely stuff. Beast with two bats. Thank you, Monkey Pixie Fun. Rumpy Pumpy, says SJ Beck 72. Thank you very much for that. A couple more just to get rid of this awfulness. Thank you very much. Okay. Shawaddy Waddy. Okay. Horizontal Tango. Lovely. Nookie. This is good. Horizontal Jogging. This is supernatural. Lovely. Hanky Panky. This is good. Just purging yourself of all of this pent-up sensuality. Getting lucky. Okay, TB. Baking buns. Okay, interesting. Getting jiggy with it, yes. Doing the deed. Mating. This is good. Keep them coming. Getting some. Afternoon delight. Temporally specific, but absolutely, that counts. Anything else? Last one's coming in here, guys. Last few coming in. Any euphemisms for sex? Special cuddle. Make love. Yes. Okay, let's call time on that. Let's call time on that. And to be honest, I am quite pleased to report that nobody got it, because I don't think we should be rewarded for this kind of stuff. Here's our plug. Here we go. Doing the nasty. I chose Doing the Nasty because it is nasty. I think we all know that. I think movies and films and TV shows like to portray it as being something wonderful and magical that people enjoy. But in reality, I think we all know that doesn't happen. So nobody got those extra 2 points, and that's absolutely fine. Let's get our points totals in the chat, please. Lovely work, Maple Panda. Thank you so much. You can get your scores in the chat if you want to pop in any croc points that you got into the chat as well. We can love to hear. We will love to hear all about them. Any croc points, any actual points, whatever it might be. But whilst you get your scores in the chat, I want to remind you that in this quiz, you're only competing against yourself. There's no point threshold to being smart. If you've got all the questions right that you realistically could have been expected to get, then you are smart. Art doesn't become successful because of the opinions of others or box office numbers. It becomes successful when you say, yeah, that's great. No two ways about it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, not live, make sure you write down your score and your musing answers in the comments below. I would love to hear how you did. Monkey Pixie Funk with 8. Of course, you can choose. Yes, so you're choosing 3 rounds here, whichever were your 3 highest scoring rounds. So although we did 4 rounds this week, it's the 3 rounds, okay? Monkey Pixie Funk with 8. Wonderful stuff. Nana Hobbob with 15. You could say he bought the victory, but that's within the rules. Maple Panda with 6. Well done, you. AOL Time Warner Official with 11, breaking that double-digit boundary. That's good. SJBeck72 with a 7. Lovely stuff. M. Acton with 10. Good stuff. Definitely Not Duda with a 10 as well. And a 12 for T.B. Douglas. Good job, everybody. Good job. But, as could maybe have been predicted, it is Nana Hobbob going away with the victory. So well done, Nana Hobbob. I think we can all, round of applause, etc., etc. Well done, you. And make sure we're getting our those able getting our I am smart emotes ready, because I think you are all smart. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. There is no quiz next week. Well, I'll be coming back the week after that with maybe a quiz, maybe something else. We'll see. But for the next quiz, whenever that may be, Nana Hobbob will get the chance to pick a round. Super Nash ran 8 with 6. Well done, you. You are smart. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. Apologies that we've gone a little bit late. Still need to work on the bespoke thing. We'll get there. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a little something, and I hope you felt creative all at the same time. I am Notme. I am Art, and I hope you'll join me next time, same place, the week after next, for another slice of live-tainment. Let's say that. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful Sunday. Congratulations to Nana Hobbob, and I'll see you next time.
So there we go, and well done you, whatever your score might be. I definitely think that you are smart, though Rob's not as smart as me. Your art will be better, trust me on this, should be nothing short of sublime. That's why you learn, and don't stop now, I'll see you right here next time. I am smart.